Tim, how are you today? Fine day. 50 degrees out
springy,
here. 50,
springy.
50 degrees.
I got the fever. Man. You're looking very sharp, almost like you get
Appreciate
going
that.
off to your Easter something. But anyway,
it is. You know, you go outside, you breathe in. You could. When you could, the days where you could smell spring. That's today.
You can smell spring. Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic, and we're doing it obviously on February 24th. Now, February 24th, we're obviously still in the dead of winter. I mean, you know, you can't see the spring. You can smell it today, but you can't see it. But I will tell you, Tim Seymour, that on this day in 1975, the mighty Led Zeppelin released their 6th album, the great double album, Physical Graffiti.
Physical Graffiti, so incredible. And that's 46 years ago to you and me. And that album has a lot of things that are iconic about it, including an album cover. And we'll talk about that in a second, because that album cover is actually from good old New York City, not the East End or the West End, or
any end for that matter. I didn't know that. I mean, see, you know those things. It's tremendous.
Well, I do know those things, and I was about to say, I was just trying to rattle off places in London. I was about to say Berkeley Square, which is so weird because it's spelled Berkeley Square. I don't know why they, that's what they do. That's
what they do. By the way, I think one of the great nicknames in the history of the NBA is Charles Barkley's the round mound of rebound. It's tremendous. Rebound. I mean, they don't have nicknames like that anymore. Just FYI.
No, and Barkley. I mean, I'm sure there was other nicknames that we couldn't say on this air, but so that Physical Graffiti album cover is St. Mark's Place, between First and Avenue A, right near, by the way, a fine Italian pastry shop that's been there forever, Veniero's, where you can get the cannoli of your dreams, Mr. Italian Stallion. And the cool thing about that place is the Stones went ahead to that same building and shot their video of Waiting on a Friend. You know that one where they're sitting out there on the
Keith
stoop?
is sitting out there, or Keith walks up to Mick.
Waiting on a lady.
Yes,
and
nice.
Guess who's sitting next to Mick?
Well, I mean, it's got to be Jimmy Page if you bring it up. I have no idea, but I'm trying to tie
Peter
the Zeppelin
Tosh.
thing.
It's weird. Peter Tosh happens to be in that video. A legend in the reggae world. And by the way, you're saying it's a nice day of spring. The story around New York is catching momentum, as if New York's not only not dead. Who's that loser that wrote that article about New York being dead, and Seinfeld came back and just schooled him?
I believe he was just trying to create a buzz.
I know.
Maybe by saying New York City was dead, what he was thinking was, this is how I will bring New York City back to life, because this will be the impetus. So maybe
Al Schuber. What's his name?
James Al Schuber.
So again, I don't want me to be so mean-spirited. That is not who I am. Loser is a harsh word.
Yes.
But I'm a New Yorker, and New York's not dead, and it's very alive. And speaking of rock and roll history, there's a number of album covers where they're iconic album covers, like Physical Graffiti, where they're New York City, and I bet you didn't know it. How about The Kids Are All Right? Up at 116th and Morningside. That's the one where the Who are draped under the flag, kind of asleep.
Look at you.
And you think that's UK somewhere. Or you've got After the Gold Rush, your boy Neil Young. And
Love Neil Young. Love Neil Young.
I know you do. And we've referenced that album as we've talked about Gold and other things here. But I think that's Sullivan and West 4th. You got Dylan's Freewheelin', which is Great Jones and West 3rd. You've got Simon and Garfunkel on the platform at 53rd and 5th. So there's a lot going on. All right. So
I want to play this game with you. I don't have access to I don't have access to my Google machine, unfortunately, but I believe you have access to yours. So what I would like you to do, because I don't know this off the top of my head, but if my memory serves, Physical Graffiti is a double album, which means there are 4 sides.
Isn't it like a triple album? Is it a triple? Chunky. I don't know. We'll look it up.
We'll look it up. But what I want to do is I'm just going to blurt out a side and a song number, and you're going to tell me the title, and then we're going to sort of put it together in terms of a market reference as we do. Okay, so tell me when you're ready with your Google
it right here. Thank God for my Google machine, guy.
Okay.
All right. So
Physical Graffiti, this day in 1975. How about this? Song 2, side 2.
Here we go, buddy. You ready?
Go.
Trampled Under Foot, a great tune, a
come
rocking
on.
tune. Trampled
That is
Underfoot.
Tremendous Zeppelin song.
Perfect
And
after
you want to
yesterday.
bring it back to the market? I mean, think
Yeah.
about what's going on. Think about what happened yesterday in the market. Think about what happened early today in the turnaround. If you sold thinking this thing is over, and listen, you know me, I've thought this thing was over for a while, but you have absolutely been trampled underfoot, because the about face the market did yesterday and then early today is heroic in a word.
It's heroic, and essentially in my time of dying, I'm short any number of these names. In fact, let me weave this into some more music lore and talk about a song that's on this album that makes no sense. Houses of the Holy.
Yes.
Of course, not included on the fantastic Houses of the Holy Zeppelin album, for a lot of reasons, apparently, with song selection and what they thought was going to be a hit. But I think it's a great song, and I'm glad it's on Physical Graffiti. And House of the Holy, look, until otherwise said, it's still mega cap tech. Like, I'm sorry, you can't dethrone Amazon and Apple and Google. And in fact, I think Houses of the Holy is really a place that also defines the level of comfort you have as an investor when you own a company like Google, where the valuation isn't awful. The balance sheet's absurd. The innovation there is there's nobody knocking them off their pedestal. Speak of my Google machine, even for their core business. I think House of the Holy is as far as I'm concerned, mega cap tech. Maybe on a day like today, it's a reopening trade, but I think don't forget about it. Don't get too far from home.
I like what you did there. And Houses was their 5th studio album, which was obviously the predecessor of Physical Graffiti. And if memory does serve, I think In My Time of Dying is also on Physical Graffiti. And what I'll tell you is, for a lot of people, a lot of the designated short sellers out there, the people, it's In My Time of Dying. I mean, those guys and gals are going the way of the dodo bird. And maybe that's the song they should be playing right now, because it's very hard to make money betting against things right now.
I don't know if I'm not sure album Dodo Bird's on from Zeppelin, but Cashmere, of which you're often showing up here in something in a black cashmere something. The great irony there, of course, is, or another one of these stories, and there's some irony, is that in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when Damone gave Rat his 5-point plan on how to smooth a chick, he said, play them song 4, Zeppelin 2, side 4, song 4 was supposedly going to be Cashmere, and of course Cashmere is not on that album. So again,
if you think about it, the fact that movie made that mistake with the person that, that's Cameron Crowe. Anybody should know it. It's Cameron Crowe. Maybe he did it just to sort of throw it out there, like a breadcrumb, like a James Altucher tweet. How do you like them apples?
I like what you did there, man. So all right, so New York coming back. Be careful about getting run over in creating or being trampled underfoot with a market that still has enormous liquidity. And Houses of the Holy right now is not only maybe one of Zeppelin's best albums, but it doesn't include the song Houses of the Holy.
And before we get out of here, Tim, I think we should go to the immortal words of Ace Frehley and sort of tie this whole thing up. I know where you know where I'm going. Why don't you take us out with that?
We're back in the New York groove. And if we were going to get on out of here, we'd be riding Frehley's Comet. I'll see you later.
See you later.